Hey everybody, what's going on? What's hot? What's hip? What's happening? What's shaking on your Monday night pre-election evening? And hold on, I got to turn something up there real quick. And we're good. So, all right. Hey everybody, what's going on? The things I just said. Okay, pretend I just said that again. I can't tell you what a dynamite guest we had lined up for this evening. Wonderful person, Flynn Beck. She's been on tons of TV shows, tons of movies. Comedian, produces comedy shows. I screwed up. Me, the person who's Mr. Time Zone, forgot to put the right time zone. So originally she was going to be on tonight and next week. We'll see if we can get her on next Monday. And if we do, we may have to delay the show till like 9:45. I think 10:45 Eastern. Yeah, it is 10:45 Eastern. Wait a minute. 7, 8, 9. Yeah, 10:45 Eastern. See, we like to do a show when it's... And then in the West, it'd be... But whatever. Ladies and gentlemen, the Wolf is saying... Oh, by the way, tonight I'm going to tell you about some screwed up elections. Because I know a lot of you are into that. Never heard anybody talk about these ones. Ever. But now... Anyway, so... yeah, and like, share, subscribe, notification bell, retweet. Do all the things that are free to help with the almighty algorithm, the super duper algorithm. We also have memberships and super chats. You can avail yourselves of those if you'd like to. We have a goal every evening, a monetary goal of any amount of money. And then the last thing is, sign up for the free gifted memberships. They're there. If somebody gives gifted memberships, you'll get one, and you will get all of our member benefits, which include telling people you're a member. Okay. People saying hi. We do have the most cheerful chat room in the history of the internet, as verified by independent sources. I mailed in 30K votes for Harris. You're welcome. So you've committed a federal crime. How did you get those verified? You know those are individually coded, right? You know that members of both parties will be inspecting those, right? In every precinct, right? How many in the room here have been going to the polling places on election night since 1980? Anybody? 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 Some of this crap that I hear is just, geez, I mean, it's equal to after you lose a football game, go, well, the ref should have called holding on that play, and should have this too, and should... Come on. Ludicrous. And people will tell you with all the conviction in the world, no, they know it happened here. Well, where's the proof? Where is the proof? We've entered into a society where it's just, no, all of us believe it, so it's true now. And here's a picture. Where'd the picture come from? Well, guy, and it's, come on, man. Let's talk about the hanging chads in Florida, the one in Florida that on election Bush won. Number one, don't know what that means. Number two, they recounted those like twice. I'm talking after the counting that was official. Why was it official? Because all the elected officials in the process oversaw it, made decisions which they were empowered to do because they were elected officials. That's how our system works. If you don't like it, vote other people into office as you're supposed to. lot of people don't think that Lee Harvey Oswald acted alone. Got any proof? Proof. I'm not talking about some guy on his deathbed. I'm talking about proof. Both candidates were in my city today. It's been a whole mess. Can't wait for it to be over. Ariana, you perfectly encapsulated my opinion on that. See, the second you think you know what I think politically, or which side, and there shouldn't be sides, there should be choices, you'll be wrong. I don't throw in with either one of these legal thieves. I don't. They're not doing our work. They're not doing the most they can for us. If you think they are, more power to you. They're playing both ends against the middle to stay in office and to keep us all enraged so that the level of activity is increased and the level of passion, the level of commitment. I'm going to get out of office. How much you got? How much you got? It's a money game. They're all owned by corporations. All of them. All of them. If you're elected to the House of Representatives, hot news flash, you got to raise $10,000 a day to get your campaign money together for the next election, which you got to start campaigning for fast. Quick, fast, and in. Don't get me started. Term limits? Oh, yeah, bring them on. Bring them on. Because then you'll start getting people that actually want to do something in there rather than people that want to make a career out of, we used to get stuff done. We used to have both parties, and they'd say, I'm going to get everything I want. You're not going to get everything you want. But let's meet in the middle and do a bunch of good, you know? Don't do that anymore. If you partner with a member of the other party, oh God, look out. There's their whole campaign ads for 3 months. You know, Bill Johnson voted with Mitch McConnell on this. Bill Johnson is sided with Mitch McConnell. And at the bottom you see, act to feed baby children or something. And it's, you know what I mean? I think in political ads, you shouldn't be able to say anything at all about your opponent. Not one word. That way, we wouldn't have a litany of ads that are, Kamala Harris will eat your child from inside your womb. You know, every time I see an ad like that, I'm like, not voting for you. Well, pretty soon you can't vote for anybody because they all do it. What if the ads had to just have your sorry, conniving rear end? Tell me what you stand for, what you are going to do, and what you have accomplished. Because that's what I want to know. Because I'm not an idiot that believes all these, frozen picture horns put on. Okay, come on, man. I'm not going to believe in anything totally that either party says, ever. I own guns. I believe in a strong military. I also believe in, the First Amendment. I believe you get to burn a flag. Sorry. I don't want them to. I like it when they hit them with the fire ordinance because that's a real law. I don't like it when they say you can't do that. Why? Because we don't like it. It's against the law. I believe in don't get me started on education. We've lost it. We lost it. We lost the plot. We had a winning game plan. And we lost it. This country has always been sort of energized. The lifeblood of this country is the middle class. And, it's kind of a joke. All the things that the middle class wants, sort of centrist, down the middle, I don't want woke. And I kind of like people to be able to vote. And when even the most Republican Supreme Court, and I don't know how many is saying, well, you're just kind of gerrymandering this, so you're just eliminating the voting places and the places where the people that vote. Not going to believe in anything. Totally on either side. And then if you don't believe in everything on one side, yeah, I believe in everything that your party stands for. Everything. Except this one thing. But we can't have you. It used to be, and by the way, it used to be distasteful to have political discussion with people. It used to be, I think I'm right, and respectfully, I think you're wrong. And here's why. Now it's, I think I'm right, and I think you're Satan. When did that start? It's dilatory. It's ignorant. Do you want to actually solve something or do something? Our government doesn't do anything anymore. It just doesn't. Yeah, okay, we got some COVID money and there's things, but we don't build the interstate highway system. And by the way, the interstate rented lips. The interstate highway system could use an overhaul. That might put to work thousands of unskilled workers. And it would train them to become skilled. Because while we're redoing the interstate highway system, we might as well lay down fiber optic the whole way. New York to LA. So the whole time you're driving down the road, you got yourself some Wi-Fi. Wouldn't you like Wi-Fi as you drive by Stuckey's at 70 miles an hour? I know I would. But we lost it. We've lost the plot. I guarantee you, I could get the most virulent, stormed the Capitol January 6th right-wing person, and I could get the most woke, transgenders ought to be able to play sports with women, the homeless should get free cars. I could get them in a room. I swear to you, I could say, there's things I know you agree on. Let's talk about it. Bridges, roads. Have you seen the reports on our roads and bridges in this country? Look it up. I think something like 65 to 75% of our bridges are structurally unsound. Okay. All right. Fine. Both parties want improvements to our infrastructure across the board. There are rural areas that are still on dial-up in this country, and that creates what they call a digital barrier, a digital wall. Those people have been walled off from the whole digital world. Could we maybe get them some fiber optic? We can get the whole place wired. I mean, there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff. But we've lost the plot. The things we agree on, we're working together for progress is over. Absolutely over. Somebody tell me the great thing that the government has done and when they have done it. The last big deal. Because some people would say it's the Affordable Care Act, which was really unpopular with some people when it came out. But it seems like now a lot of people really like it. And it was a fight. It wasn't a let's work together on it. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. I'm going to shut up for a second and read your chats because many of you want to hang me in effigy now. I would say it's all fights and drunks and stuff at those events. I don't want to get hurt. The Wolf says, I mail it in. I've gone twice to vote in the booth. Wolf, I mail mine in too. And some people think I'm part of the conspiracy with the mail-in votes. The state of Utah has been mailing in its votes for I don't know how long. They kind of have to. You know, Jebediah, you want to drive 6 hours each way and vote, or would you like to mail it in? But they are a Republican state. So when the Republicans, got really upset about the mail-in voting, I was like, what? Why don't you mention Utah? Because they've been, are you going to give back? Because it's all just, how can I feather my nest? How can I stay here in this government position, making as many contacts as I can so that when I get out, I got a sweetheart deal. The Doctorn says, Doc on Deaf, them gifted memberships are great. That free coffee Tom sends and people saying hi makes it worth $100 a month. Hey, come on now. Thought we weren't going to talk about that. Not in front of the guys. Hey, not in front of the guys. Oh, you know what I'm going to do tonight? I'm going to open up the phone lines right now. Now, if you call in, we got to keep it to 5 minutes or less. Okay? Because we don't want to get too derailed and keep people in the pocket here. Jokerfish, that's why my 30,000 votes will matter. Oh, God, don't admit it out here. Terry Nee says, my wife met Robert De Niro today. Kind of a letdown after being married to you, huh, Terry? I'm just saying. Very confident of you to let her go see him. I'm not saying she would have been attracted to him, but, you are the same age. Dupa says, Joker. Terry Nee with a little heart. There's Joker saying hi and telling a dad joke. Jokerfish. I actually sort of interacted with Jokerfish recently. Now, Jokerfish has come in here and been great. But imagine reading a book, and that book was not words and paragraphs with periods at the end of them. It was one giant word that just went on for the whole book. It just, all the letters were together. So, if the boy went to the store, that's a word. The boy went to the store. It's all together. And then the next thing is attached to it. It's just a constant. Couldn't get a word in edgewise. I'm telling you. Read the room sometimes, man. Jokerfish, I mail my votes. Doopa. Hello. Here's something funny, the Wolf says. I was in an argument with an Aussie today because one of the channels showed the 7-time F1 world champion and didn't know who he was. The guy said F1 is as popular there. And you know what? As polo in Nigeria. I pointed out Nigeria has its own polo federation and how popular it is in the country. Actually, over there in Australia, they like supercars. They like the supercars over in Australia. My friend Scott and I, we often watch the supercars. Right. Funky Bronco, that's official. I don't know what's official. It doesn't really say what's official. There's no real way for me to tell that. Ariana May says, I'm going to vote for the very first time tomorrow, and I still don't really care that much. I would feel the same way if I were your age. I assume you're young or younger because you're voting for the first time. It's extremely disheartening to me that for the last 3 presidential elections, I didn't feel like voting for either one. Now, there have been presidential elections before that I'm like, I'm not crazy about this person, but I'm going to go ahead and vote. But this one, it was like I felt like I was throwing the vote away, no matter who I voted for. And then even voting is like rewarding them. It's a positive act. I felt like maybe I should just abstain at president and vice president, because maybe that would get the message. Hey, this guy voted for everything but president. I don't know. But I wish you had somebody. I mean, Kennedy was not a hugely popular president during his administration. It was only afterward that he became hugely popular. He was popular with young people, and I was alive during the Kennedy administration. Yes, only 5 months, but still. Those people, they had something to believe in. He was inspiring them. And maybe you don't believe in allegory, and it doesn't mean anything to you, but Ronald Reagan, shining city on the hill, and a new society, and with JFK, it gave you something to hang your hat on. It gave you something to say, hey, that's us, that's me, that's what I want. And now it's all just tired rhetoric. I mean, tired. We are going to go into our nation's absolutely devastated inner cities and rebuild. No, you're not. No, you're not. Anarchy in the USA. Holly Bronco says, I like the Swiss system because of how it works with term limits. We do need them. Corporations are easier to change than government. I'm going to have to think about that. Because, corporations are driving the government. It's not the other one. It's not. $10,000 a day, I can barely afford a good cut of beef. Well, they've made sure of that too. I already did that. Terry Nee says, we ran to government for change too long. I never wanted my government for change. I wanted my government to remain relatively stable, and I wanted it to tackle the problems we can all see in front of us, not the ones that we made up. But change, I think, is, too much change is destabilizing, Sky. So it's like, no, let's have some continuity and some there, but let's start attacking the things we want to improve. Let's see here. She will. It's true. Terry is talking about his wife and Robert Duvall. Robert De Niro. Yeah, Robert De Niro Duvall. It was a Robert. Terry Nee says Trump dealt with complicated dynamics. Vote Trump. What you say is true. Who was that president that didn't have to deal with complicated dynamics? Yeah. Kind of went in and ran it as a pip. Nothing really. Jokerfish says, I saw Tom Gully as an ice cream man. I don't know what to believe anymore. Believe? I'm growing very weary of you. I've only blocked 2 people. And you're heading for the big crash. Funky Bronco says there's a difference between the First Amendment and hate speech. Yeah. I don't know what. I don't know what that. I really don't know what to say about that. There's a difference between a rock and the sky. Yeah. They're two very different things. And actively trying to hurt people. Sorry about that, Funky. I didn't see that. That's a much more cogent. Yeah. But there's also, I mean, incitement to violence and such. Those laws have been around for a long time. So a hate speech law isn't like crazy, The hate speech stuff is, to Funky's point about the First Amendment, if I'm not mistaken, the Hate Speech Act only comes into play when violence has taken place. So in other words, you have to have done something to somebody, and you're going to go for that, and then they go, okay, were they indicating in blatant terms that what they were doing was as a result of these things, So Tom and I are pre-Department of Education. Are we? And I am, just a couple of years out of being a teacher. You don't even want to know. I mean, I'm in these meetings and I'm like, can we just do reading, writing, and arithmetic? Because, by the way, No Child Left Behind. That what that really means is no child allowed to flunk. And by the way, we need children to flunk. If there's no flunking, there's no fear of flunking. And if there's no fear of flunking, a lot of them will be like, well, I'm going to pass anyway. Kim Warfield says, burning a flag is a felony. You're not supposed to wear the flag or anything like that either. I believe that is a portion of not a law, but the U.S. Code. And I believe that portion of the code is no longer in effect or being enforced. But it is in the U.S. Code. I will grant you that. But I'm sure, Wolf, you remember in the 70s when you were used to the flag being treated with such reverence. And sometime in the 70s, maybe in the 60s, you started seeing flag bikinis and flag shirts and flag hats. And it was a little weird. It was like, that's a bit disrespectful. We're in the collapse. Terry is quite correct. We're a lot of things and not working so good. Chef is in the house. Don't we love it when the chef is in the house, everybody? Come on, give him a big hand. Give him what you need to give him. Give him what you need to give him to the people you need to give it to. Terry, I was wondering how long until you reminded us of the collapse. Dupe is here. It is always good to see the legendary Triple D. Wolf said, I was the kid that took care of the flag because our school had no light to shine on it. That's sad. Ariana May says, I'm waiting for America to stop expecting politicians to... Pow! I'm waiting for America to stop expecting politicians... Okay, it was my fault that the guest isn't here. And now I can't talk. I'm waiting for America to stop... And Ariana May, I'm going to say this is like 5% your fault because you put these syllables in that order. I'm kidding. I'm waiting for America to stop expecting politicians to fix their communities and start taking initiatives themselves. That would be nice. That would be nice. That would be nice. I mean, there's a lot of stuff from the federal government that we do need because we pay them so much money. And I want a return on my investment. Every year when I'm filling out my taxes, I'm like, I spent this much money on you. What am I getting back for it? Don't tell me it's a paved road. The state and the city do that. Don't tell me it's a higher level of education in the society around me because I taught those kids and ain't no higher level of anything going on there. What do I get? I get it that I get liberty and freedom. There aren't armed gunmen walking down the streets, but past that, a lot of people looking out for an old man. Well, not for a couple of years. And then I get back all the money that's mine. Soch. When I hear them talk about shutting that down, that was my money. I gave it to you because you made me. And you told me that you would give it back to me at a later time. That happens, and man, I'll do an hour a day on it. I know you guys don't like to believe this, but I may have made $1 or $2 in my day, and I may have paid a lot of Social Security. I want it back. Doopa, doopa, doopa. I believe. I don't. Somebody's not getting the picture. So I'm not banning you, Joker, but I am putting you in a timeout. Okay? Actually, I'm not going to do that. I'll do that the next step because you've been a pretty good guy. But I'm going to tell you, maybe it was a week ago today or whenever it was, when I was in that StreamYard with you, buddy, I don't know what to say. Doop-a-doop-a-doo, laughs at Terry. We all laugh at Terry Nee. Randy's saying, hey, Kim. Randy, my sister said that. Did one of my sisters run into you recently? Semi-recently? I think she said you told her that you listened to the show. So if you wonder why she's never speaking to you again, I'm kidding. Forget the highway. Our train tracks are awful. Very true, Joker. Thank you. That's a very good point. That's part of our... And by the way, when did we quit using the trains like we should? You know those 18-wheelers on the road that are a big pain? Why aren't we just train shipping all that? It's much cheaper. You train ship it to a distribution center, and then you put it on a truck. I'm just asking questions here, which also you can't do anymore without, well, why do you care? Where's your proof? If I hear, where's your proof? That, by the way, that comes from one side. Most of this stuff is equal, but that comes from one side. And I'm always just looking at them like, my proof of that is the United States Census, the largest ongoing database of information in the history of the world. That's what I'm going by. I'm not going by the othersidesucks.com. This is I'm loving this show because it's all the reasons I don't talk about politics on this show. Eisenhower was brilliant on interstate. Terry, I couldn't agree with you more. I was talking to somebody else today, and I said, we don't do that anymore. We don't, and I probably said it on this show, we don't do that anymore. We don't go, here's a thing, and everybody gets on board with it, and we do it. We don't do that anymore. Because if somebody came up with the idea, hey, I think we ought to invent a everlasting cracker. You just eat it forever. And people will never be hungry. The other side would be like, that is just to think about the poor, tired cracker producing industry in this country. Yeah. Gilman says he's late. Nobody's ever late to the Tom Gully Show, Gil. We've told you this before. But thank you for being here. Funky, there isn't a difference. Where's Funky's last? Jesus Christ, Terry. How many years ago? Okay. That was from quite a while. January 6th was a walkabout. Tell that to the chick with the lead pellet in her hair. Tell that to the cop. I don't know if you've seen the body cam on those cops that were trapped in that corridor and keeping them out. That looked like a walkabout to me. Incidentally, I will say this, and I will say this openly. When you try to thwart, interrupt, or disrupt the exchange of power of my government. I'm a citizen of the United States of America. I look at the Confederacy just like I do Germany or Japan. Okay? When you threaten my country, I wish all those people were locked up forever. Forever. Well-meaning or not. You think you just get to march into Senate and say, we don't like this? I really wish that place had been properly defended. That's You realize what a slippery slope that is, right? Yeah. You just want to stop the nominee from being sworn in. Jesus. It's just the most butthurt, sore loser, ignorant, malformed, misguided. They claim to be patriots, but all parts of the process, all the American voted on by the people, got their elected officials, all that, no, we don't care about that because we think something else. Who the hell are you guys? Bunch of losers. How many of these guys do you think went door to door in their neighborhoods, reaching out, as they'd have to, across the aisle, to calmly, rationally persuade people to their point of view? How many of them? Next one will be the first one. Bitch, moan, bleat. That they're good at. The other side's good at it too, don't get me wrong. And the other side does a million things that might be more media related, more process of government related. But that thing, I'm just talking about that thing, because believe me, I got a good list of things on the other side too. I'm not happy with either one. It was up to me, they'd all be fired today, and we'd vote new people in. Every one of them. Don't worry, there's enough deep state there to keep the machine running. Yeah, you don't do that. I was watching that. I was in Utah. I was firing up the Nissan Sentra. It's like, I think I know going out there. Watch that body cam of those cops in that corridor at the top of the steps, trying to defend all those people getting in. And what happened to them? Reached out, pulled them into the crowd, beat the crap out of them. Telling you. No. Did you see the barricades? What'd you go past him for? Why? Closer look at the building? Come back next day, you can lick the wall. Don't get me started. I got no patience, no tolerance for that. Anybody wants to say anything different, go ahead. I'm just going to treat you like I do the guy on the street corner that thinks Babylon 5 is real. Everybody agrees on Wu-Tang. No. Government unions raided the vault. It's always weird when you got like a teachers union or a government union that the government like doesn't. The state of Wisconsin sort of came after the teachers union there. It's like, you're using our taxpayer dollars to go after our teaching union. I don't know. It's always weird. Every time the government does something, I'm adding it up. That's my money you're spending. Really? You're going to spend it on that? Both sides are doing the exact same things to each other. That's pretty good. Dupa the wolf. Fourth leg of government, bureaucracy. I guess. The weed vote mattered. Mm-hmm. Well, yes. Let's see here. Affordable Care Act sucks. USSR care. Well, what's that? When the Affordable Care Act went into effect, the place that I worked for said, okay, our health care, you don't got that no more. You've got the affordable health care. So, and if you all remember, the very first day, it was like the first week, the website completely broke down. So when it was finally back up, I went in there and tried to apply it. And I was going to get half the health care at double the price. And my deductible would be higher too. I'm like, this really sucks. However, there were a lot of people that I know did not have health care that love it. And I know a lot of people who do have health care now that are older that love it. But I'd be the first to agree. It was a disaster when it started. It probably inflated prices at the beginning because the people that were getting into it were all very much higher at risk people than the population in general. But I think it's evened out now, and a lot of people like it. I don't know what to think because I'm back on something else. And I never had to use it. I never used my insurance anyway. That's another thing. I just throw the money away. We're severely lacking in public transportation systems. Our major cities should be easily connected via train. Ariana, is it okay if I do my creepy stuttering John thing to you? I'm sorry. Boy, if I was 50 years younger. Anyway, Ariana, you must be reading my mail. This is exactly what I believe, 100%. And they've been trying to get a Dallas to Houston train going for I don't know how long. And all these little towns in the middle are fighting it constantly. It's going to bring criminals to our town. I could build a house with the studies and actual statistics about train lines that have been built in place. No, the criminals do not immediately run to another place. As a matter of fact, property value and economic expansion occurs massively when there is a train station in a place. It's a place everyone comes to. They get on, they come off. You got restaurants, you got shops, you got whatever. I don't know why we're not doing it. It's just, and by the way, with the new sort of magnetic rails where they ride on that magnetic service, fuel costs, everything else. Yeah, we should. We really should. Now, with Amtrak, a lot of the cities are connected. If you really look into Amtrak, but by the same token, there are a lot of them that aren't. So if you're on a route that is going toward a city that you want to go to, and then it will tell you that you need to get on a bus and then go to the next town by bus. Stupid. There used to be a thing called, what was it called? Was it called the SkyTrain? There was a train that went from Chicago to New York. And it was part of a route that went from New York to Chicago. So you could go from New York to LA that way. The Super Chief is what it was called, the Super Chief. And, New York to LA, that's some pretty good train riding. Aka says, well, I misread the subject title of this show. Well, I'm sorry to hear that, Aka. Funky Bronco says, weed legalization was the last big thing. No. Our government hasn't done that. No. It's not legalized. It's legalized in some states for recreational use, but I'm in a pretty big one. It's illegal as hell. But I hear what you're saying. Jokerfish says the last big thing big government did was have the singer from I'm just going to ignore it. Somebody enters your mail in. If you want a republic, you'd drive. If you want a republic, you'd drive. I don't know what the logical syllogism of that is. We're not a democracy to begin with. People think we are, but we're not. Brother, talking about this stuff. We're a constitutional federal republic. That's what we are. Notice that the first word is constitutional. The Constitution, that thing that's got all the rules about how one president goes to the next. Yeah. Believe in all that until it's, I don't like. Terry, tell your wife she has my deepest sympathy. Geez, it's 42 minutes into the show. I haven't even gotten to the topic. So it's not corporations then. So what's not corporations then? Terry Nee, you're a very smart man, and I'm not criticizing your beliefs, but you have to be really specific when you have a discussion with me about these things. Not because of any other reason than I am hopelessly pedantic. Okay? There's enough rotten fruit here that it can be more than one thing. We can have a whole bunch of crappy things going on at once. So, if you don't think that corporations are actually writing the law on their letterhead and sending it to the parties or the members of Congress, I got a hot news flash for you. I don't want corporations writing our law. I don't want our politicians signing off on law that corporations have written. And that is not uncommon. It is many times the rule. Tony says, Kim, I did. She's made. Funky Bronco says, I'm too drunk to call in. It's a slow day at the Native Reservation. Well, speaking of I've been messing up on this show all day. Funky Bronco says, like always. To what he's saying that? Slow down the reservation like always. Gotcha, Funky Bronco, sorry. Doctor says, keep it on the rails. Tom, I'll have you know I'm going off the rails. On the crazy train, Trainee says, weed legalization. Well, it's funny to me that people are opposed to that. And if you don't think it's a big thing, hold on a second. Just a second. This will only take a second. Hey there, gorgeous. What's going on? Well, so I'm on the air right now. Can I call you back later, or you can call me tomorrow, or whatever? All right, yeah. Well, you call me or I'll call you. I'll talk to you later. Bye. All right. They call me Dr. Love. Oh, sorry. Was I supposed to say that? I shouldn't have said that. Weed legalization is a big thing because the states that have it, A, get to make all the revenue off taxing it, and B, they put the drug dealers out of what we like to call in Indiana, business. Business. I like the drug dealers to be out of business. And the people that run the drug dealers, because they're normally into a lot of other stuff too. Just saying, Jokerfish is laughing. I'm not going to get into it. Spend enough time on that. Doc Doopa says, Tom, but what if that book was written about you and the author was a big fan of you? That's inconsequential. See, I don't like the world being strewn with just garbage, moronic nonsense. Okay? I don't. And I got a hot news flash for everybody. I've been doing this a long time. You don't want to be around all your fans. And some of them don't want to be around you. So, you know, I've had people send me things, give me things. Hey, I made this for you. I appreciate the gesture. I really do. That's not the same thing as just rudely, ignorantly being a painful rectal itch when someone else is trying to talk and across the board. So, Dupa, you're awesome, but I'm not going to listen to any of that. I'm not going to listen to any of it. I've been hearing it from all over. And it's like, I don't care. I really don't. When you act that way, and I'm just sitting there going, God, Jesus. I don't have to do that anymore in my life. I really don't. I'm not trying to be pompous about that. It's just, at a certain point, I don't have to do that anymore. You know? When a kid starts playing sports, they might have regular shoes, not very good sports shoes. But if they're good, they get to go up a level and people will give them amazing shoes. Do you think they go back to the crappy ones? Yeah, when I was working in Muncie, Indiana, I had to sit there and listen to everything anybody said. Hey, Tom, me and my wife listen to you every day. My God, we're going to bring you out some more cherry pie, and we're going to blah, blah, blah. Well, you take in the good feelings of it, and you appreciate the people, and you're nice to them, and you remember them. But man, oh man, it's a beating. Tell you something, anybody doesn't think it's a beating, invite me over to your house. And my intention is only, and I'm not going to get into the extra substances someone may have had that evening. Doctorn. Oh, hey, Jerry, we got, oh, hey, Jerry, we got bigger fish to fry in the future of our country. The coup started in 2008. The coop, your coop, the bird coop. I love it how when, and I'm not saying Terry's saying this, but maybe he is, so he'd have to tell us. When the other side wins, it's a coup. Come on. Come on. Dupa, Terny, Jokerfish, Aku, Gil. Doc Torn shouting out. Phone lines are open. The Wolf says, I used to write every president up to Orange Man Bad. Tom killed Kennedy while sucking on mom's bosom. I'm sure you're talking about the bosom. Can't you just see a 5-month-old Tom Gully, you know, popping the top to a bottle, not a can of Blatz, but a bottle of Blatz. Hold on. This is going to be great. So I get my bottle of Blatz beer, B-L-A-T-Z, Blatz. So I get my Blatz, and I pull out a smoke. 5 months old, by the way. Cute as a button. Well, it's me. Even when I was 5 months old, my face would hold a 3-day rain. I got my can of Blatz. Oh, sorry, Terry. I got my can of Blatz and my smoke, and I've got an M1 Garand over my shoulder, and I'm walking down Elm in Dallas, just.
Hey, mister, can you tell me where the book depository is? I got a pop a guy.
It's fun to imagine, isn't it? We may go over tonight. Is there any other shows going on? Hey, people saying hi. The most cheerful chat room on the internet, as verified by independent sources, and as if to illustrate. Oh my God! Somebody's sorry. I think we shouted our goal. Toby McGroby on board. He says, "Hey guys, hey there, Toby. We're always glad to see you, and thank you for the $2 Canadian. Next time, if you could send it to me in Canadian Tire money, I'd be very happy because I haven't seen a recent picture of Scotty McTire lately." What do we got here? Doc Tornillo. The Wolf says, "I remember guys in the hall warning me about agents coming to get." Yeah, we warned you about that. Oh, yeah, we warned you about that. That was when Reagan was in office, though, so I think you're probably okay. What's here? It isn't Tom. Isn't it? Isn't it Tom? Isn't it? You sound like that's like a Clay Dabbler line. Isn't it Tom? Isn't it? I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but if I said it wasn't, it's not. And if I said it was, then it is. Ariana May says, "I'm 28. I could have voted before, but it felt like a lose-lose, so I didn't bother." It still does, but I got nothing better to do tomorrow morning, you know what I'm saying? 80s voting, I could take it or leave it. I got nothing better to do, you know? By the way, did I tell you about the blockbuster lineup we've got coming up on the show? A blockbuster lineup. Here's a block. I'm going to bust it. You're saying, get a boom. On November the 4th, that's today, we're going to have Flynn. Sorry. I so messed that up. It was me. People all the time say, "You think you're right all the time. You never done it." Nope. I'm admitting I was rookie wrong. I made a mistake. It was my mistake. It wasn't her mistake. It was my mistake. I feel shame. Yeah, I feel shame. In places I didn't think I could feel shame anymore. Ever. Dupe says, "Trust Tom, trust me, Jokerfish is a fan." However he defines that, a fan might do one of these over a 3-hour period. It wasn't like I and everybody else weren't going, "Dude, come on." Remember the episode of Quincy about acid? Okay, so Jokerfish says, "Oh no, do it, Tom. Block me. Stuttering John did." I think it's just going to be easier to skip your comments. Because that's what you want is the attention. Love me, daddy. Look at me. I'm going down the slide. Funky Bronco. There isn't. Sticks and Stones. Yeah, you don't need to call anybody name. Well, you can call the politicians names because it's like, I'm paying you. I ought to be able to call you name. SG Fanboy, the living legend. Do I need to go through his credits? Do I? Scarlet, Tom Gully. Scarlet Witch, Tom Gully. Hulk, Tom Gully. Tom Gully falling down. The creepy ice cream man, Tom Gully. The legendary Derby girl, Tom Gully. And of course, this is one I made. I don't know. I made this one. And it took a lot of time and a lot of practice and a lot of sweat and determination. Look at that one. Huh? Chill out, ladies. All right. SG07. Dupa is so nice to everybody. Let's see. Terry Nee says, not anymore. Hate speech is broad in legal application. Really? Really, really, really? Okay. Alrighty. Yeah. I have to look into this a little bit because I don't think that's known offenders. That may be broad in legal application, but it looks to me like only 1/3 of the people being charged are actually being convicted. But I'm going to have to double check that. Can't do that on the fly. In my opinion, most of a lot of the hate speech stuff is, it's like you murder somebody and you say an ethnic slur while you're doing it, and they want to tag on the hate speech. It's like, you already murdered a guy, you're going to jail for that. It's like an additional thing. I think a lot of prosecutors might overcharge on that and then just throw it away. But I don't know. I haven't delved into it the way I would delve into it if I was really delving into it. So Duper says, Jokerfish, is this the real Jokerfish? Who knows? Who cares? There he is, the man, the myth, the legend, the inventor of Photo D-Hop. SG fanboy. Yes, everybody. Well, says, I actually spoke to the head of the Department of Education on the phone. He wanted to know how I got his number. Nothing's worse than that chick from Michigan that was the education during Trump administration. And the only thing I blame Trump for on that is he put her there. But, I mean, he didn't do all the dumb things she did. Some of the stuff she said was just... And she'd send out letters to people with punctuation errors and spelling errors all the time. And we're in the collapse. I don't care if the Department of Energy sends out crappy emails, but the Department of Education should be able to spell. Gilman says, will anyone's life change that much, no matter what? Who wins? No. Gilman, and that's my point, is no matter who I vote for, my phone doesn't ring, you know. Well, Tom, this is Barack Obama. How you doing, buddy? This year, we're going to give a $50,000 grant to every single guy that ends up out there and working at the radio station. Never happened. Did I tell you how much crap I took the 2000? First Obama was 2008, right? So, yeah, it was the first Obama election. It was the one where he debated Mitt Romney. And I reenacted the debate with two sock puppets, and one was a dress sock, and the other was an athletic sock, and there were many people who did not appreciate that. And I'm like, well, what else was I supposed to do? What else was I supposed to do? There's one guy. Wolf, I want to hear the story. Oh, the wolf. Yeah, he's got great stories. Whoops, there's a blooper. By the by, ladies and gentlemen, I am currently in negotiation with the Wolf's people to see if we can get him on a members-only show. And it'll just be me and the Wolf talking. And, of course, anybody else who wants to chime in, you know. What about the Department of Education? Wolf, yes, yes. Just another perv story in my life. The IRS, write that as one word, and you'll see how the government views your money. I'm not smart enough to. I am reliving the biggest thrill we've had on the show tonight, which is Toby McGrovey's $2 Canadian. Hey, guys. By the way, we do have super chats. Toby on deck. SG, the legend, is present. Dupa says, Tom, when you were in the stream, are we making it about this? Because that's why he's going bye-bye. I already do a show. That, people can say whatever they want. I've been doing this a long time. That is absolutely zero watchability. Zero. Anyway, Dupa, I'm not getting mad at you. It's like, when you were in the StreamYard with Jokerfish, I saw nothing but an excited fan to talk to you. Maybe I'm missing something? Really? What I saw was a guy on acid, drunk, talking so no one else could speak for 3 hours. Tom. What, did you ever, It's like being around a child. Except a child, you would turn to the parent and say, get that away from me. I wasn't the only one going, shut up, shut up, shut up. Not the only one. And there weren't just two of us. So if he's an excited fan, fine. Super. I got to eat crap for 3 hours? Really? Really? Only reason I'm there is I told somebody to bring my phone line in. Otherwise, I'm out. Yeah. I don't have to. I just don't have to. And I don't appreciate it. And I don't appreciate it here. So, not everybody gets to play for the Yankees. Not everybody gets to win the Super Bowl. SG Fanboy, welcome back, buddy. Toby McGrowy, welcome back. Yeah, people saying hi. Most cheerful chat room on the internet. Especially nowadays, trains are vastly less secure for shipping. Companies like Amazon use in-house equipment to keep costs down and pay taxes. Well, less secure because we're not secure enough. Oh, by the way, Aku, you want to talk about airport security? Do you know how much stuff is stolen in this country from airports? The big shipping planes, a lot. SG Fanboy dapping up with his homies. And the Wolf says, StreamYard's really doing a bad job with my audio today. Well, if it ever comes to that, we have an external cheesecake. We can eat an eternal cheesecake. We can eat forever. Hey, if things get real bad, I'm going to hide out at the Sixpence Inn. All right. Randy says, I have somebody that I work with, and they always talk about one side and look at me and say, don't you believe that? Like it's like I have my own opinion. I don't agree with you. Yeah, I know. That's the whole society right now. You disagree with somebody on one thing, and it's like, jeez. Because it's not to complain, but how have I not been banned or put in timeout and Joker is teetering on it? I don't know. Also, as a Canadian in this political talk, help. Well, it's one day out of the 4 years. I talk about Canadian things here. Tom, where was the rage on the assault on the White House? Trump went to the bunker, media perspective. Any unsolicited swarming of people trying to disrupt anything entered those. And by the way, assault on the White House? People that try to get into the White House get shot. Right? No. Go try to jump over the fence and the gates there. See what happens to you. You won't get very far. A little of that would have been, well, we did have a little of that, actually, on the 6th of January. Akamugan says, I hear you. By the way, I'd have the same opinion if people from the other party had done that. Hey, Toby. Tierney says, Tom perspective is a victim of his profession. No. I don't even know what you mean by that because I don't know what you're categorizing as my perspective. I generally am the one that would state my perspective. Generally. Not someone else. Aku says, that's Kim Warfield says, Aku. Young man says, new parties. Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't you like we're sick of all this crap party? I know what I'd like it. There's my man. Brett Hollywood show. Rustic Cuts was legitimately behind January 6th. I heard that they weren't behind the actual assault on the Capitol building, but they did provide all the meat for the barbecue afterwards. January 6th was Wizard of Oz. Did all those flying monkeys go to prison? Terry Meneek, your kind of government. Let's not get into that. Wolf. Tom, too much video perspective. I don't even know what that means. I mean, it's, you know. Yeah, we have video of the whole robbing of the bank. Well, don't look at it. If you weren't here, you don't know what happened. Everybody uses video these days. And by the way, you got to look at that video. There's no, we just want to get in and take some pictures. Funky, you're emotional, not logged on. We need more government talk. God, no, please. I'm being so nice compared to when I did my afternoon drive political talk show that made me never want to talk about politics again. But some of the things that are being said in here, and certainly call-in number, but nobody called in, so forget it. I'll just close it. I mean, I would be really... There's a lot of stuff that people state opinions about, and then you look at the opinion and you go, Terry Nee has donated $1. Thank you, Terry Nee. Shattering again I like how Terry Nee pays in American currency. He's very proud of that. Kim Warfield. Wolf, come on, man. Well, don't be... First of all, you can't buy me off with $10. I mean... Well, if you want a show where I sit and I list the things, positive things that the government does or did or has been doing, I'll do that. But I expect that. That's what they're supposed to do. That's their function. So, all right, stop complaining. Now you can get some Pervitine. Yes, I'll call my German Pervitine fence. Und you have $10. Was ist es in Deutschmarks? Haben Sie Geld auf Deutschmark? I see some funny stuff. Turning my emotions don't matter. Don't care how I feel. I have no emotions. I was raised by wolves. Funky, you never met government. If you did, you'd cry. Funky says, I don't want to. I'm always drunk. Terry Nee is laughing. Dupa says, Terry Nee, you met the government? You were in the room where it happens? Funky, no, I met the government. I was on the golf course where it happens. I'm just kidding. Funky. Warfield says, I played that system like Jeff Beck played guitar. My insurance was great, and I had no deductible. A lot of people have the same deal. Because, look, what they did was take the insurance companies out of the picture to a certain extent. And I got a hot news flash for you people. Any healthcare insurance company, look at their quarterly profits. It will be in the billions of dollars. Billions. Why are we doing that? Most people's healthcare, if you took all the money they pay for healthcare insurance, it would more than pay for all of their health care throughout the course of their life. And it especially will do that when insurance companies aren't artificially inflating the cost. through demands placed on the healthcare providers that make their job and their profit the way that they want. And that's a fact. I see you guys tomorrow. I got to run. Toby McGroby, thank you so much for being here. We always enjoy you, and you're never late. Wolf says, I cheated, though. I had an insurance license. Yeah. Can you imagine the Wolf walks in to an insurance place, and the guy's trying to sell him? Wolf's got a license. Terry Nee says, Dupa, I met the people pulling the levers. Be scared. Do you want me to go through a list of the politicians? Well, I guess the biggest thing was Mike Pence, when he had his radio talk show. I met him a whole bunch of times. Because he was doing like a morning or midday, and I was afternoons. And funny man. I hope the guy that he is now is funny. I don't know if he is or not. But the guy back then, a scream. Extremely funny. The Wolf says, adios and happy trails to you until we meet. Toby. Terry Nee, you netted them. Lucas says, partitioning, fourth leg, rusting cuts. This all seems to be a bunch of bull. Bull. Wake up, Bob. Gilman, I do agree with Jesse the Body Ventura when he says, rebloodplicins and democrypts. Tony says, Tom rides the chutney. I thought chutney was like a soup or something. Randy says, like I would say about that, just because you want it legal doesn't mean it's legal. Two-party state has got to go. That'd be really nice. Gang rap is a democracy. And we're not a democracy. Sorry, folks. Dupa says, what does all of this have to do with that chick actress the show was about? Well, I guess I messed up the time. It was my fault. I feel stupid, especially since she's a hot chick actress. She's a great person. But that was my fault. And since she wanted to talk about politics, I didn't want to do that. But she convinced me, and she said, look, why don't we talk about politics? It's night before the election. We can try to make a difference. I'm like, there's no making of a difference. There will be no differences made, ever. Certainly not on my show. But we decided to do it. We talked about politics, and she's very smart, and agreed that we'd do the love, relationships, and intimacy one next week. So I felt like I had this political spot here, and I should do that, even though I didn't want to. And I also thought, what if I just one time did that? You know? So that's why we're doing this. I don't think we're doing a big deal. Oh, Blockbuster Week coming up. Tomorrow night will be. I've played his music for you. Rare cuts. In fact, I'm probably the only one that has them other than Mark and Jay and his wife. Mark LaFon, former Texas Musician of the Year. He's won countless awards. And he is vicious on the guitar. And his wife and musical partner will also be here with us tomorrow on the 6th. Do you want to talk Blockbuster guests? Do you want to talk hard to nab celebrities? Yes, on Wednesday, November the 6th, we will have none other than the one, the only, Mr. Joey Catalano on this program Wednesday night. Thursday night, not 100% definite yet. But we will have the leader, the hitman himself, Russell Alexander of the Hitman Blues Band will be with us, and he will be with us live from England. So there's that. On the 15th, which I realize is quite a ways away. Oh, please don't tell me I double. No, I didn't. Noted comedian, playwright, actor, Steve Bluestein will be with us. Steve Bluestein. And I am in talks with, to finalize the date, one Metal Maiden Vicky from Sonic Asylum Radio. She's in our chat room all the time. And by the way, we'll be working blue this night. Tom's profanity policy will go out the window. We will have easily the most, well, I'll just say it, No Filter Paul will be with us. If those of you who listen to Opie and Anthony, No Filter Paul will be with us. Kim Warfield says, the bloody Federal Reserve controls it all. Hello, Daddy. Hello, Daddy. Terry Nee says, she wants in the Jag. Heard it all. Nah, she's way younger than me and stuff. Way too good looking. However, Brett Hollywood says, Fred Savage is trying to pass legislation that will directly target DabbleCon 3. It's a legitimately messy situation. Well, where's that going to be again? It's supposed to be in Jackson, Mississippi, or they having that in Topeka, Kansas, Hibbing, Minnesota, Truth or Consequences, New Mexico. I mean, what great urban metropolis are they going to? Vegas, Miami. Why would anyone go there when you can go to Rochester or Detroit? By the way, I'm not being critical of those guys. They didn't have a million good reasons to do it. I'm not being critical of them wanting to do it. I'm being critical of it as a consumer. That's all. You know, it's like that probably was a good deal for them. They're smart guys. They're not going to make a bad decision for themselves. They're going to make good decisions for themselves. And they're going to make decisions to make the most profit. So they don't have to travel. They don't have to get a hotel. All that overhead's got. I get all that. I do. But at the end of the day, you got a customer. He's the decision making. Unless you just like, how much money can we make? And there's nothing wrong with that. So people do everything all the time. But as a person wanting to go to a place to do a thing, let's just say Rochester, New York did not top my list. And then just a couple months later, they go to Detroit. It's like, well, clearly you'll travel. I don't know. Why am I so reticent to even slight appearance of criticizing people? There's nobody around yonder hesitating to criticize me ever. It's just like there's not a speed bump there at all. Hello, Brett, Terry, Ducktorn. Hey, y'all. Rumor has it Tom G has a 2008 six-cylinder S-type Jag. Yes, I'm driving in the rain today. Obama was a neo-Marxist in a Trojan horse. I don't really believe that, but I have a problem if you do. My whole thing is he was elected and into the office by the process that we have at hand. Dupa says 5-month-old Tom Gully and Wolf, height of 40 inches. Well, Wolf would have been Wolf is much older than I am. Much. Hopefully I didn't whisper too loud. So you could, Akamoose, and sadly, Tom, we stopped making Canadian Tire. Should be Tire years back. That sucks. See, what you should do is get Don Cherry and get all the pucks from them hockey games and make tires out of them. Dupa says, Wolf, I don't care what they think of me. I don't care what they think of me. I don't know what it is. What song is that? Is that a song? Is it a thing? Wolf says, yes, it is, Dupa. Terry Nee says, rock the vote. Who is the face of that? Rock the Well, I know there was a bunch of MTV people. Daggone it, Terry, I should know this. Politically? Oh, God, was that Hillary? I don't remember. Rock the Vote was just... It was one of those things that I liked from the standpoint of they were making a very pronounced attempt to reach out to younger voters with that. It's like one of those things, hey, I'm just going to rap with these kids and get on the same. Anyway, when people did that in our school, we were just looking at them going, nah, they don't have a chance. You'll never be that. This is not going to be. But Rock the Vote passed the well-meaning attempt to reach younger voters. It was like a 40-year-old's version of reaching out to what kids should be. Wolf, what son? What song? What song? Yeah, Wolf, what song? Rock the Vote. I'd rather rock the dragon. You know what I'm saying? I'd rather keep on rocking on the. The Wolf says, I think it was a commercial jingle or sitcom. That's cool. Turney says, I would accept Tom as a benevolent dictator. I thank you. And I thank you. Guys, I'm going to be putting a lot more time into this program. And I wish Wild Bill was here because I've been too nice. I've been, not as, and that's going to change. That's going to change. And I'm probably going to hurt somebody's feelings. And they're probably going to say, I don't want to watch this show anymore. And on that day, when that happens, I'll take a look at that and go, well, do I feel bad about that? Or do I need to give them another chance or whatever else? But as maybe Wolf would say, that normally doesn't happen. It's normally like, no, to get me to be not crazy about you, you've already crossed like 3 lines. So instead of, hey, it's okay, it's going to be, okay, tell your story walking. Randy says, can you believe it? Summer Rose is going to vote for the first time tomorrow. I just hope she keeps playing that stand-up defense on basketball. Aku says, there should be a spot on the ballot for no confidence that acts as a vote that neither party candidate has wanted to hold the seat. Well, they can kind of figure that out, Aku. So at the end of the election, when they tally all the votes, let's say there's 100 votes, and they see that there's only 70 votes for president. That's how they know people went, but your way is a little cleaner. I'd like the ability to vote for no one, to actually proactively vote for no one. Gilman says, Hey, Jerry, you made Dakota Prescott the highest paid quarterback in the league with guaranteed money. How can you ever recover from such a blunder? Please apologize to Cowboy Nation. Well, we all had the best of intentions when we paid Dak that money. Of course, last year we strung him out for a little while before we did that, and I'd like to apologize not only for Dak Prescott, but for bringing Ezekiel Elliott back into town. I mean, we let him go because he was all busted up and broke down, and the Patriots got him for a year, and then we got him back. So I'd like to apologize for that, too. I'd also like to apologize for the quality of the Big Jerry Burger at Cowboy Stadium. I understand last week that some of the lettuce wasn't quite up to par. I've seen too many films, TV shows, and commercials to remember where I heard it the first time. Doctrine says Department of Education. That's reason enough to. Got that right. Tony says wrong. We've seen extraordinary changes due to voting. I don't know what that's in response to specifically. extraordinary changes due to voting. Well, we've seen some radical shifts in things because of the way people vote. That much is very true. But nobody's changing their vote. Not at 8:25 Central on Monday night. You know. I always like the undecideds. It's like, what? The difference between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump is not vast enough for you to make a choice? Randy says, everybody say goodnight, Gracie, and don't forget to vote. Yes, the chef. He's in the house. We love him when he's in the house. Terry Nee says mob voting. You mean like a mob of people or La Cosa Nostra? I guess both can exist. I don't know. Who is the wolf? Wolfman Jack?
Hey, everybody, this is Wolfman Jack coming to you at about 1:25.
Christ almighty. You simply cannot do that voice for very long. I mean, I couldn't. I mean, he did it for 60 years, but I can't do it. I think I had about 3 legitimate seconds of admittedly bad Wolfman Jack there. The Wolf is my longtime friend from college. You may know him as Kim Warfield, but that's the Wolf. The Doctor says, Department of Education, there's reason enough to move to Canada. Yeah. Well, if you guys had really good education, you would have won a Stanley Cup since 1993. What? Yeah. Terry Nee says he has a members-only jacket. Well, now. People like it when he puts his jacket on, but people like it when he decides to jack it off. Terry Nee says, it's your world, I'm just passing through it. My favorite saying. It's a great, great saying. There's, you know the guy that does Bar Rescue, Taffer. What's his first name? Taffer? John Taffer. He was posting on Twitter, and I, currently known as X, and I posted a reply that was, it's John Taffer's world. We're all just living in it. And he gave me, I know he gave me a like, and then I think he commented on it. And then I started commenting all the time on his page. I haven't done it in a long time, though. Doop-a-doop-a-doo, says Terry Nee. I love that saying. Great choice for Twitter. It is. I get pretty unnecessarily and embarrassingly excited when I get like a like or a retweet. You know that chick that was married to Ted Lasso, Olivia Wilde? Out of nowhere, she likes one of my posts. I'm not even following her. Roseanne Barr, Artie Lang. Who else? I've got some people that I'm like, whoa. Hit the like button if you want. Self-interest is behind everything, good or bad, but Adam Smith was dead on. I agree 100% with that. I think some people, and you're not one of them, Terry, but some people fail to understand that helping others can be in your self-interest. In other words, it's in my self-interest to have a higher degree of educated people in this country. It's in the country's best self-interest, too. A society with a higher number of educated people has that just means everything is done in a smarter way. So that's not necessarily, because I'm done with school. You want proof? There it is, right there. And so it's not necessarily my self-interest to pay higher property taxes so schools get more money or any other stuff. But I do it because I know it's in my self-interest not to have slack-jawed dullards, doing things for me or messing up things or whatever else. But what you say here is 100% accurate. I'm a big Adam Smith fan, by the way. So this is a great format for opinion. Is it? I had the phone line open for half an hour and nobody called in. So, Doopa-doopa-doo, says Terry Nee. How do Karl Marx and Adam Smith differ? Terry Nee says, wait, Raised by Wolves? Oh, you mean like Evil Roy Slade? Easily the most evil man that's ever lived. Stubby index finger, tapping out the line. Stubby index finger. I don't know why I was grabbing my pinky while talking about my index finger, but Doopa-doopa-doo says, Evil Roy Slade is on top of my movie list. Hey, man, if ever we do go over to Rumble and do a watch party, it's got to be Evil Roy Slade. It just has to be. God, I love that movie. Terry Nee says Karl Marx was insane and humanically non-scientific. Okay. I just found out my wife is late. I'm a wee scared. Well, it's only 8:30. Maybe she'll be here at 9. I don't. Don't you want a little baby? Don't you want a little papoose? Don't you want the doctor line to be carried out throughout the generations? Doctor, congratulations. Congratulations. Funky Bronco says, Doctor, nice to hear. Every woman I got pregnant has had an abortion. There's a hot button topic for our pre-election show. Terry Nee says, so what Tom is saying is it's the Shuli's fault. Just kidding. Racism is funny. Jesus Funky Bronco says, what the hell? Funky Bronco says, Doopa-doopa-doo, yeah, it was for the best. And by the way, Doc Torn, congratulations. And you should be a wee bit scared. I think that's only natural. It ain't natural, you understand? Dupa, it's true in a manipulative way. Thanks, we've been waiting for a while. The Doc Torn says, yeah, I wanted a little nipper of my own. I guess the women didn't, though. Trini says, when will we get JAG video? Trini, thank you. One of the things that's going to start happening very soon, with the next 2 weeks on the show, is there will be members-only mini documentaries, some of which I've already produced and are archival, but some of which would be me doing stuff with the JAG. Yeah, buddy. And so, yes, that's on the list. See, right here. Funky Bronco says, Doctorn says, Funky Bronco, I feel ya. Hell, I did a lot of talking about how I didn't want any nippers when I was younger, but now I'm over the moon about having my own. And so you shall. Politics got you down to 9. Oh, I'm sorry. He put 8, but we're at 9 now, so we're growing. Yeah, that's what I mean. I know nobody wants to listen to my political nonsense. I don't even want to listen to it. I don't want to think about it. I don't know about Terry Nee and the Wolf, but right now, I'm on cruise control. I'm damn near a neutral going down a hill. And it's like, look, I tried, and it's a mess. And I just kind of want to shuffle off to my final reward and not pay any attention to it. Dupa, giving Doc Dorn some love. Terry D says, it was P. Diddy. Dupa said, Tom, you and Wolf went to college together. How much older could Wolf be? A lot. A lot. Actually, I was really young for I didn't turn 18 till I had already graduated from college. So I was kind of younger. Ariana May says, don't be scared, Doctor. It'll be great. I don't know why I gave you a British voice, but it just seems like I should with those vacationing in Brighton glasses that you're wearing. Everyone votes at 2 a.m., says Terry Nee. Can you do that? I guess you can. Funky Bronco says, Tom, I'm thinking about writing in Peter North. Dupa Dupa Doo says, I voted for Terry Nee. I'd vote for Terry. Dupa, thank you. Vote twice. Dupa says, Terry Nee, I voted 10,000 times. Dupa says, I didn't have enough time to get elected. Sorry. Wolf said, I make the simple mistake of every Saturday morning. Go to the grocery store at 6. At 7, when I'm done putting the groceries away and taking out the trash and doing all that stuff, I call my dad and I talk to him for an hour. And then on Monday morning at 7 a.m., I call my mother and I talk to her for an hour. Probably from that 7 a.m. Saturday call till the Monday 7 a.m., I have not spoken a single word to another human. Now, this weekend I went on Bob's show, so I did speak to another human, arguably. Now, here's the thing. While on Bob's show, I was chain smoking, like, can't imagine. So even while I was talking there, I wasn't really taking care of my voice. My mom this morning said, oh, Tom, you sound very hoarse. And I did all day. And it's been hard to talk all day. I don't know what made me so hoarse. Couldn't be the cigarettes. And now I can't speak. It's been that way all day. Wolf says, I made the mistake of using my real name on things because I would love for somebody to try messing with me. I've seen the Wolf in that mode before. The doctor says, Ariana May, I know I shouldn't be, but the fact that a new life will be depending on me and thinking if I'm doing a good job scares me. Hey now, you should have been thinking about that while you was getting your love on. While you was putting your man parts in her love wallet, buddy. Yes, sin in haste, repent in leisure. I'm kidding. I'm glad. I'm very happy for the both of you. And you're very deserving, and I'm sure you'll be a wonderful parent. Oh boy, can we get t-shirts? Can we get t-shirts? And it's got to be the TGS party or something, I guess. I don't know. How am I a part of it? How can I make it about me? Dupa says, leave me out of your shenanigans, Terry. Leave me out of your shenanigans, Terry. Oh. Gully Knee, the Boomer Party. I'm just thinking out loud. The Doctor says, Knee Doc 2024. Doctor, we bring so much greatness. There'd be too much greatness. We'd have so much greatness, we'd get sick of greatness. We really would. To the more than 9 people here in the room right now. Hope you're enjoying it. Knee Doc 2024. I don't know if Doc should be a vice president because he is expecting a baby. I'm wondering if I put my Ball State football spot in I kind of remember converting it, but I kind of don't. So we're going to have to find out. Let me see. We'll wait for it there for a second. And I'll show you a really cool macho made-from-nothing football spot. But by the way, there's a good chance I won't have converted it. But I'm pretty sure I converted that this weekend. Because I knew you'd want to see it. I know it'd be a big, big hit. And now because I got to wait till this screen. I hate StreamYard so much. Did you guys see the top of the show? It was awful. It's choppy and all that stuff. Wasn't me. Wasn't on my end. Right now. It wasn't on my end. That's all I'm saying. All right, I'm getting a little sick and tired of this. I really am. Let me do this again after I get through some of these chats. I'm not going to sit here and... People will wait till the end. If they want me to do it, fine. If not, another time. Getting so sick of StreamYard. I really am. Doctor. Wolf says Karl Marx was a filthy drunk preying off the wealthy women's money. Loser. Ariana May says, Doc Torn, it can definitely feel overwhelming, but instinct takes over and you know what to do. I promise you'll laugh every single day, even the hardest days. They brighten. That is lovely. And would all of you please keep your children away from me? I pretty much W.C. Fields. Let's see. Gross. What are you doing with the Jag, pervert? I don't know why you would say that. It's been too long. I'm sure I said something stupid and you nailed me for it. Doc Torn said, but Dupa, that'll make me all the more likely pick. A family guy is always nice. That's nice. Spoiler, Will. Terry Nee. Terry Nee, report to the principal's office. Terry Nee, report to the principal's office. Terry Nee says Wolf was on the 6-year program. No, Wolf was on the... Wolf was extremely good in school. Very good. Aku says, I prefer solving issues myself. And I have some fun ideas. Star Mountain's here. Hello, Star Mountain. Always good to see you. Dupa. The doctor says, spoiler, Wolf is a whole week older than... Oh, no. He's way more than a week. Way more. Dupa is laughing at Terry. Terry says, Tom naps Saturday morning. After I'm done talking to my dad, I do. Dupa says, wait, what? You turned 18 when you graduated college? No. I said, if I said college, I was wrong. I think I said, I've got a phonographic memory, so I'm very, if I misspoke, I'm sorry. If I was going to misspeak, it would be today when I'm tired. But I had not yet turned 18 when I graduated from college. So I was younger going into college. So the oldness that the Wolf had waiting for me at college was enhanced by my abnormal youngness. Jag and Wolf. No clue as to what this is about. Well, Jag's my car, and the Wolf is athletic, explosive, and he has quick feet, and I've known him since 1981. The Wolf says, no, Terry, 5 years. It's known as the football program. Actually, 4 and a summer. And in the Wolf's defense, let's just say there were some... Sorry, Wolf, I'm not disrespecting you, but let's just say there were some complications at the end of the Wolf's academic career, which may or may not have involved. I tell people this all the time, and I don't know why I'm laughing so hard, but it may or may not have involved Wolf needing one more class to graduate and being out driving real fast one night. The police may have been chasing him and crashing his car into the house of the professor of the last guy, the last class he needed to take. That may or may not have affected his length of stay. Wolf says, hello, Star. Wolf says, he's joking, Dupa. However, I started and just, oh, yeah, that's right. The Wolf was real young, too. Tom has shown me why Joe hates boomers. Joe hates us sometimes because he wants to feel superior. The fact that he actually is superior is really inconsequential. Doctor says, I shenan once and I'll shenan again. Dupa Dupa says, Gully Wolf 2024. I think that's going to be Wolf Gully. Down further in the chat. I'm just guessing. Dupa says, Gully Knee 2024. The Wolf says, Remember, Tom, I was initially on the fake football schedule. Yeah, I do remember that. Well, I think all the football the Ball State Cardinals played in that era was fake football. They're not doing much better during the Mike New era. Say what you want about Mike New. When all the other teams have COVID, he can win a lot of games. Knee Doc 2024. May Odin help us all. Yes, great Hogan's goat. Dupa says, Wolf, there was a fake football schedule? I don't know what to believe anymore. Terry says, I have an eidetic memory. Tom is 80. Looking pretty good for 80. Funky Bronco says, the Wolf sounds like my kind of guy. Hey, neighbor, let's go for a joyride. I'm just now remembering that is a part of this whole story. The Wolf lived in an apartment right behind this awesome pizza place. The pizza place burnt down, and well, it didn't burn down. Their place caught on fire, but Wolf's apartment was trashed. Done. And I remember him coming over to the dorm. You know, he had moved off campus. We were still in the dorms. And he had this jacket that he always wore. I think it might have been, it wasn't the original Warmer. A jacket called the Warmer. That belonged to somebody else. But I think this was the same kind as the Warmer. Kind of. So he walks to the door. The door gets knocked on. I open the door. And he's standing there like this. And he does this. Bam! On his shoulder of the jacket. And smoke goes, like a lot of smoke goes all up in the air. And he goes, my apartment burned down. I just went, you want to crash here for a little while? I mean, fine with that. But just, my apartment burned down. Funny. Tom, what are you drinking? Right now I'm drinking some Berry Blast, is it? No, it's just regular Mountain Dew Zero. I'm just tired and funny things are happening. Funky Bronco says the Wolf probably burned down the pizza place drunk. The Wolf would never, ever burn that pizza place down because it had this awesome pizza thing called the Gut Buster. No, Funky. It was another Ball State anarchist. So the Gut Buster, the Wolf loves the Gut Buster. So that's the story of and the glory of. He never would have done anything to hurt the legendary Flying Tomato. That was the name of the place, was Flying Tomato. The Flying Tomato. Over there on the Flying Tomato. I'm waiting on this spot. What? Tom and Wolf need another show together, please. We didn't hear all the stories. Wolf almost didn't graduate. Well, it wasn't a question of his graduation because we all knew he was going to graduate. It was just, I mean, if you got a list of things that can go wrong, and one of the things on the list is driving a car into the home of the last professor you need a grade from. That's yipe. Yipe. Okay, here we go. Oh, shit. I had it. There it is. Bam. Hopefully, shit, I think this is the one that I had last week. I guess we'll know in a second. Yeah, that's the wrong one. I hate StreamYard. I really do. I'm getting that football spot no matter what now. Oh, yeah, now you done messed up now. God, this interface has just been so slow today. There, I'll do that. All right, bear with me. It's just going to sit there and spin. Doc, it's part of the infamous the guru. Good Lord. People would come from miles away to get the guru. Oh, my Lord. Oh, my Lord. I am in discussions also with, I would say, an extremely well-known and feared internet personality. There's a chance they'll be here Friday night. He's a busy guy. And if he comes on the show, he's going to try to take over the show. And if he tries to take over the show, there's a good chance I'm not going to put up a heroic struggle. Hey, say, and then towards the end I'll go, yeah, whatever. What do you got? What do you got? You're probably not going to stop him from doing what he wants to do. But all right, this is just so unrewarding. You know what I mean? This is very unrewarding. Yes. Oh, God, please. Why is StreamYard so terrible? Well, I guess we could do it by the name. And we're doing it by the name. We'll do it live. Boy, has anybody seen him lately? Was it Bill O'Reilly? He was doing some stuff, and I saw him here and there, but I haven't seen him in a long time. And he's everywhere for a long, long time. Did you ever see the transcripts of that phone call that he made to that girl that he got in all trouble for? You ever see that? Did you ever? Okay, here, what do we got here? This is just, man, it's ponderous, man. It's ponderous. And this is not, by the way, for those boomer people that like to make fun of boomers, this is not me. This is how slow StreamYard is. You know, I'm searching for something here, and it really should allow me to put this window off to the side and keep working the room. But nope, I got to stare at this dumb Finder window. Just cause. Oh, God. So anyway, how you guys doing? I hope you're well. Hello there. I hope you're doing fine. And it's the same thing that you told me. A girl I really wanted to talk to called during the show today. You know what I did? I told her we could talk tomorrow. Why? Because of you. Because of you. And I did that because I appreciate all of you very much. Now, sometimes it may not sound like I do, and I may be a little grumpy here and there while I'm doing a show. And I'm very pedantic. I'm super pedantic. I get very technical on almost everything. And you guys are wonderful for putting up with that. Of course, you have to, if you want this entertainment that I give you for free every day that you could never possibly generate on your own. Actually, yes, you could probably. And many of you could arguably do it better than me. But thanks for being here. I can only see like one comment at a time. This one says, "Is that you, John Wayne? Is it we?" All right, it is 55 and 27. At 55 and 45, I'm bailing out of this and reading chats, and then we're going to stick a fork in this. I'm saying? Let's see here. Dupa, that's called the New Testament. Yeah, we're past. I'm writing a very strongly worded email to StreamYard right after this show. What do we got here? The Gutbuster. Yeah, the Gutbuster. Here's a show topic. What does Mountain Dew? I don't know. Nick says H2BH, Tom. Hey, Nick, H2BH, back to you. Doopadoopadoo says, what? Tom and Wolf need another show together. Well, why don't I put that on the screen like a person that knows how to read? Yeah, well, we covered that. And the Wolf says, Doc, it's part of the infamous guru. He's talking about Mountain Dew there. Mountain Dew is part of the infamous guru. Oh my God, the guru. The guru has taken down more men than Madonna. All right. Should have known, Wolf. Terry Nee says, oh my, Tom swore. Mercy. What did I say? Did I say something? Ray DeVito. I have been very Ray DeVito this evening. I have. That's a very fair observation. Wolf says, is it Mr. T? I pity the fool. I can't be beat. Won't we beat? Come on, woman. I heard a really good argument made that Mr. T playing Clubber Lang, okay, Clubber Lang is the worst villain in movie history. The argument that was made, I don't know that I agree with it, but it was a really good argument. And they were like, well, he propositioned his wife, killed his manager, beat him to a pulp. I mean, I don't know. Oh, Dupa, you're just too nice and you're just too generous. Thank you for the $5. One of my favorite shows was Tom and Wolf telling stories about their friendship and childhood. Can we have a sequel? Oh, yeah. Well, I shouldn't say that. I have to make final arrangements with the Wolf's people. And when I say Wolf's people, I mean the Wolf. And if we can, I think I'm going to make that a members only. I really do. The Doctor says, is that the plague doctor from TikTok? I don't know. Wolf says, I pity the fool. He's 75. Why would Bill? The Doctor says, is that you, John Wayne? Is it we? Terry says, Dupa, that's called the New Testament. I get it now. Those aren't the ancient sea scrolls. That's funny. That dang turd knee boy, he'll let off a ripper once in a while. For free, it just costs Dupa 5 smackers. Hey now. Easy. Thanks, Dupa. Dupa says, Terry and Doc Dorn are so devilish when they get together. They are. They're a couple of little scamps. Those rapscallions. Thank you, Dupa. Terry says, Trump put his fortune up for our country. Think tomorrow. 78 years old. Want to know how much he earned off of our country? That is various properties and businesses. You want to talk about that? You want to have a little discussion about that? And we don't know what he did, because he didn't release his stuff like everybody else has. I do know a couple of his ventures. How much was it? Trump University? Was it 25 million? I figure. I think Terry meant in the days of the Greeks and the Romans, it was just considered good manners to give your guest a massage. Wolf does it better. He was actually there, you know. Less than Biden and the hey. What happened to, look, there's a president that we've had recently that was never in politics till recently. But it was on TV shows, radio shows, had his own show. And I thought he was an a-hole from the jump. Now, be that as it may, when he became president, I gave him every bit as much respect as I would any other president. Yeah, even when he was running. Matter of fact, I don't know if I've said this on this show before, but I said it to a lot of people before the last election. If you look at what he's actually done as president, actually done, you know, the things that he's enacted, the things that he's ordered to be done, they're just pretty much like any other president. You know, he did really good in some areas, not so well in some areas, but thing didn't blow up, didn't wreck the car. There's no smoking gun. There's no, Watergate. None of that, per se, until the 6th. But I also said, if you just keep pissing people off on Twitter and in your remarks, it's not really going to gain you anything. And it's going to make all of those angry people come out and vote. And that's what happened. All the tweets said, didn't bother me. You know, just, that's what you want to do. But it bothered a lot of people. And they came out and voted. And that's why. So, there you go. Wolf, not the Spartans? Turney said that was a licensing to you. The Wolf says, no, he released it, but it was more taxes than any of our left friends. We didn't release it before the election, which is when people want to see it. You know, once you're out the door, or you get elected, and whoa. I don't think they actually ever released his specific return. They released information that was from the return. If I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken about that. There was another form that was filled out with information off the return, and part of that stuff is why New York charged him with fraud. It's the overinflation of prices and sales and stuff like that. But no dupa. Oh wait, all great empires come to an end, and Wolf says no dupa. They just fade away. That is something to think about sometimes. It's like, when's the great American thing gonna come to an end, you know? And how will it, and why, and all that. Turney said, not voting for a nice guy, just the right president. Me too. Bankrupt how many times? Yet walks around talking about how great he is at business. How in the world can you go bankrupt in the casino business in Atlantic City? Because then a lot of people say, well, you do business like he does, you're going to have some bankruptcies. What? Oh no, it comes to territory. Got it that much more. You're just gonna rack up anger. That's not a drawback. That's a positive. All right. Nope, it's Chuck Testa. Aku say, I have no idea what that's from, but I heard it enough as a kid. It's stuck somewhere. Dupa says, call in, Terry Nee. It's called, I had it open for 1,000,000 years. Nobody called. It's the same old thing every time. Open the phone lines, nobody calls. Only people that call are Wolf, Doctorn, and Wild Bill. There's been some other people that called one time, but you know what I'm saying. Gas was $2 here. That's a miracle. Trump did extraordinary things as an outsider with internal government obstruction. The poor guy. That poor guy. In retrospect, it really is unfair how the government made him appoint all of his own cabinet. Bastards. Those bastards. You know, the people running the departments that run the government. Also, Tom, I know will make you smile. Attempting to revive my PC from the dead. Yes. Tried replacing the power supply and I was rewarded with an electrical smell. Yeah, Aku, don't do that. Go on Craigslist and put an ad, and some genius will do anything that it needs for $25. Wolf says no. They released his actual return. I think they released something else first, or in conjunction. There was another document I saw that was not. Maybe it was one of the loan documents, but they didn't release that return before the election. There was no harm to both sides in that deal. In what deal? That is a wonderful thing, but it's a bridge, not a way. That's what my dad would say. Aku. Many billionaires have been insolvent before. Like, that's what I said. Everybody would say. We're not talking about a billionaire being insolvent. We're talking about a billionaire, okay, running businesses that are almost impossible to fail at. And that's fine. But then when you start pointing, you're the greatest businessman ever, and you've got just tons of people going, this guy violated our contract. This guy violated our employment contract. This guy is employing all foreign labor in hospitality. You know, there's a bunch of good stuff too. I'm not saying there isn't. And like I said, the job he actually did, I got no complaints. Well, no, actually I do. Actually I do. He did some stuff with some of the national landmark type stuff out in the West that made it not protected anymore. It's like you can't drill oil in this area. You can't. There's nothing you can do with it. So. But other than that, I mean, and every president's going to have some stuff that you go, I don't like that. But overall, I got no complaints. I got not one complaint. Government is in a state of bankruptcy. Oh, God, we've been bankrupt for 40 years. Constant state of bankruptcy. We're not even within striking distance. We're not even in a situation where we could get a bunch of revenue and take all of it and give it none of it to the government and give it to the people that we owe money to. And they'd go, if I go in 100 years, I'll be paid off. Funky Bronco says, Trump has never even mentioned my people, the Native American community. Never? Tom, do you vote emotionally? No. a lot of my vote, given that I perceive there to be little difference in my existence, regardless of the party in office at the top. First of all, the president isn't that powerful. He can veto, he can take executive action, and then he can kick rocks. Okay, he's not that. Okay. If somebody was awful, this wouldn't apply. But the biggest thing for me is the character of the person. Hence my conundrum a couple of elections ago. And now and ever. But I look at the person and I say, do I think this is the person who's level-headed and will do the right thing? I don't have to agree with every single one of their policies. Wolf says, hey, I replaced my power supply and there was no smell. Hey, I unloaded my power supply in the bathroom earlier and there also was no smell. Aku says, despite my second job, I have to be careful with financial decisions. That said, gaming is a quick way to be created and ease the mental damage weeks of 18-hour days does. Okay, good. Huggy Marco, my people are drunk all the time and our casinos don't go bankrupt. None of the casinos on native reserves go belly up. Well, I know. Tony said, Tom, if you needed a heart transplant and Trump or Harris were the transplant doctor, who would you pick? Heart? I would pick Kamala Harris, but the only reason I would pick her is she's younger. And his hands go all over, So that's the only reason. If I needed my leg amputated, I would want Trump. Because I think Trump would go shunk and just not even hesitate. And I think she would try to find out if my severed leg would displace a severed leg of a lower income bracket. Terry Nee says, seriously, landmarks. Well, when you live out there, yeah. We're not getting that back. Go out and build me another, what is it, Devil's Chimney or whatever it is. Can't do it. So if you don't want precious natural landmarks that took millions of years to be that way, well, okay, that's your thing. Fine. If I lived where you live, I would not value the landscape either. But if there was a legitimate purpose, if there was some bizarre geographical formation that's the only place we can get to a literally limitless supply of oil, I'd have a different opinion. But when it's on the top of a big rock and there is nothing else you can, are you going to dig, are you going to knock the whole mountain down? Really? You can't. Too big. So that's why I did not like that. And in conjunction with that, if you must know the truth, there was a lot of other sort of environmental regulations that were overlooked, right? Regarding the pollution of water out there and other places. But out there, water is so precious. It is, you can't even imagine. So there's a lot of other stuff. But Terry, like a lot of people who I would guess, but don't know for sure, have your philosophy. You didn't notice that I said I had absolutely no complaints and that there really wasn't anything except a couple of little things, which I would probably have with any president. That's more than people in my situation would generally say. And what you have done is shown me, well, it's the same thing from that side of the aisle. We're patriots, we're rough, we're tough, and the first and most butthurt people on the world. I'm sorry, that's the way it appears to me. What are you doing? doing? Well, she did this. And what? Do you know you still see What About Hillary? You still see it. I saw it in the comments under a news article yesterday. Do you want? If you want, I'll do a show on Benghazi sometime. All right? Yeah, look into that one. See how much money, see how many investigations, see how many people were interviewed just for don't start. I'll also tell you that the other side, they are guilty of manufacturing things. The side you're on, Terry, no manufacturing. They may hyperbolize, they may exaggerate politically, in speeches, things like that, what everybody does. But there's no manufacturing of things that didn't happen. The other side, well, that's their stock and trade. They like that. Well, this big thing, and then people look into it, didn't ever happen. I got plenty of criticism for both sides. Believe me. All these crazy, what is it now? 168 different genders? 168. It's science. It's not, it's not a fashion store. It's science. Aku says, Aku says, I understand it. Trump correctly wants us to start making quality goods in the country again. Last thing you made was Zenith TVs. No. The last thing we made was Canada Cry because we took another Stanley Cup away from them. You're laughing at me again. Dupa says, Terry, I'd go to Turkey. Oh, yeah. Do you know what? Until we start putting a heavy tariff on these Turkish teeth, good people of the land, hard workers, they're going to take their kit bag and they're going to travel to Turkey to get their teeth rather than right here at home in their community. Terry, why are you starting a debate here? Are you interested in changing your mind? Do you think anyone else here is? If not, what's the point? Ariana, it's my fault. Terry is totally joking. He's messing with me. Okay? He's not really... He's engaging in the political discussion, but he's doing it in a way that he knows will make me mad. And let me just expand upon that for a second, Ariana, because I do want you to know that Terry means no ill will. He's a great guy. Everybody loves him, except his wife. And so here's what Terry does. I won't say every show, and it should be every show. I have this thing where I say our goal tonight is any amount of money, and if Terry can, he does this to torture me. And so his remarks are, many harsh word is spoken in jest, but I mean, he's speaking the truth, and nothing wrong with what he's saying. I'm saying stuff back that I believe, but if I thought for 1 second that it was going to upset somebody or it would start an argument, I would go, really, at the end of the day, I don't care. You basically asked me if I like the crust or the sauce better. And I gave you my answer, and you didn't like it because you think the opposite. Then I believe what you do because it's on the same pizza, and it's not worth arguing about. Dupa, not as pleasant as you think, except for the teeth. What was that? Yeah, Turkey's not as pleasant as... Did you see the other day where, I think Turkey fired missile strikes on northern Syria and stuff, and Bob was like, yeah, I don't care. I'm going over there. It's fine. Bob, don't go. Do not go. I wouldn't... Man, that's dangerous. Funky, are you Indian? Star Mountain says, no Wi-Fi here. Funky Bronco says, Kim, 1 for Blackfeet and Shoshone. Well, says I'm an 8th Cherokee. Ariana, emotional thought. She was just asking questions. Nothing wrong with asking questions. People ask me questions all the time. The most common one is, why are you the way you are? Wolf, nice. Do you live on the reservation? Wolf says, Rev and I are from the Barefoot Clan. Sadly, here in Canada, my governor has choked all economics down from export to tourism, and thanks to the quote environment initiatives, it's almost killed that. Aku Mugan. Star Mountain says she also has empathy. He doesn't. Terry has a lot of empathy for birds. Terry Nee's a wonderful guy. What's starting to go on here is why I never talk about politics. The Wolf says, no, my great-grandmother moved to Indiana during the Trail of Tears. She was the chief's daughter. Terry Nee's, true. Very interesting. Star Mountain says, I'm out. I know y'all are Trumpers and I shouldn't be here right now. Later. You think I'm a Trumper? Star. Wolf says, the Klan followed her, but my great-granddad got offered land. Hey now, emotional thoughts. What's wrong with emotional thoughts? What's wrong with people voting on emotion? Is that like less of a vote than yours? No, people vote for all sorts of reasons. There's one-issue voters, there's geographical voters, there's morality voters, there's fiduciary responsibility voters, there's military voters. People vote for all the reasons they want. They're Americans. They get to. You know? Doop-doop-doo says, have a good night. The chat room is split. Yeah, we're going to close this down. You guys are starting to get mad at each other and say things. A lot of shows on the other side of the fence from Dabbleverse adjacent in the Dabbleverse that's all they want to do is get people mad. That's their thing. Rev and I are in tribe with Richard Roundtree, who you know as Who is Man Who Would Give His Life for His Brother Man? Shaft. And we can dig it. They say that. Hold on, I gotta get that. They say that Shaft is one bad mother. Hush your mouth. Just talk about Shaft. And we can dig it. Akumugan says, Funky, despite my paler complexion, your northern tribes seem to enjoy my company. My aunt's funeral was a hoot. Funky Bronco says, we know how to have a good time, Aku. Terry Nee says, Tom, president is about China, not landmarks. No, president is about everything. Everything. It's not about one thing. Has China attacked us? I don't think so. Why are we borrowing money from China? Well, we have so money to China because that president loaned it to him. Took the loan. But the president is about everything. It's about national security. It's about domestic security. It's about the economy, about education, about energy. It's about everything, not China. This ain't 1945, okay? Everybody looks at China and goes, well, they got 1 billion people. It's scary. Whoa, blah, 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 blah. We have 11 aircraft carriers. We have our stuff, too. The Chinese stuff, it's not that good. The average American doesn't give a damn about China. It doesn't affect them in any way. They care about the economy. They care about their families. They care about a stable job. That's the president. Okay? And if you really want to get into the global, international thing about, well, China does affect us because they're doing this and they're doing that. Well, we've allowed China to have all of our manufacturing, and that's lowered the cost of a lot of prices, but put people out of work. So don't tell me about China when we're halfway up there yin-yang on everything. It's not about China. It's about everything. If you think the president is about China, Secretary of State might be about China, but the president's about everything, not China. And yes, it includes landmarks, and it includes polluting the water. It does. I'm sorry. Maybe not to you, but to a lot of people it does. And if your attitude is, well, we should just knock down the Grand Canyon and we should just knock down all that stuff. Do you know how much land we have out there? You can actually let the national landmarks stand. There's states where the government owns 92% of the land out west. Why don't you just go to, leave the national landmarks alone, and please do not pollute the water for the people who only water they get is the mountain melt. That's the only water they'll get. And if you pollute it, come on, man. Your Democrats changed that locally. My Democrats? I don't belong to either party. Neither one of them. A whole. Do you want me to criticize the other side? Okay. What did Biden do to guns last June? Not this past one, the one before that. What did he do about guns, or May or June? Oh, that was a real great piece of legislation. What did the ATF try to do? Beginning of... Yeah, it was just the beginning of last year. Hey, everybody. All those regulations we've told you for 20 years will keep your gun perfectly legal? Everything you did? Yeah, now all that's illegal. Second, it goes into the Federal Register. So we're going to create, could be up to 100 million felons. Okay, and here's the best part. They admitted that it would take them, as soon as they could get any of the requests for federal tax stamp to make these guns legal, was 180 days. You want to hang around for 180 days with a gun that is now a felony? They didn't define how long the stock would be. They basically tried to call collapsible rifles. I won't get into it, but the whole point of it is not one elected official, not one elected person made that policy. It's not a law. They're going to enforce it. And there wasn't, it just didn't go through Congress. It's just, there's the new thing. Well, whose idea was this? Oh, some guy that got appointed. What? Yeah. Oh, I got plenty of it. Plenty of it. Funky, are you living on the res? Tom, I am a kitten and my pronouns are... I don't know what that means. Kittens suck. He blinded me with science. Tierney said, Tom picks presidents because of local state government. No, I don't. No, I don't. They're eating our cats and dogs now. Turkey sends us their bad shotguns. They send us a lot of crappy, firearms. Funky Bronco says, Kim Warfield, that's not as good. I'm very trigger happy and like my guns working. I always got an itchy trigger finger. Both of the parties are taking our liberties. Pretty heavy rate. No difference there. Funky. Aku says, she moved on to her reserve as a young adult. At her funeral, I had the chief and shaman in tears repeating my question to her siblings if Grant had cheated as she looked completely native. No, Tom, I believe in today's opinions. I'm all in Trump. More power to you. More power to you. I like a guy who calls himself super Christian, who's never been super Christian. And every wife he's ever had, except for the first one, he cheated on with the next one. That's a Christian guy. That's a super Christian guy. It's a character issue. But believe me, I'm not getting into that. But if you like Trump, man, go for it. Doesn't bother me. Wolf says, yes, I do live on the... Funky Bronco says, yes, Wolf, I do live on the reservations. Ariana is all bleeding heart. Karen, not future. Well, how do you know that? She just asked you some questions, dude. Come on. You're better than that. For context, we are heavy Irish and known for having blue eyes and blonde or light hair. You know, here's another thing. Did you ever think every single person you're arguing with is an opportunity to convert somebody or at least show them your viewpoint? Because that's what we should be doing. You know? You might enlighten somebody. They might enlighten you. And oh, we don't want any of that. No, I already have my opinions figured out for the rest of eternity. You see them over there? Those granite pieces of stone? For context, we are heavy Irish and known for having blue eyes and blonde or light brown hair. Funky Brown says, Star Mountain, I'm no Trumper. I mailed in 30,000 votes for hair. Arna May said, Trump should have gotten into comedy instead of politics. He would have been a treasure with this nonsense. Well, I watched his Al Smith thing. He can be funny. He can be very funny. The thing that struck me about the Al Smith thing was that the jokes that were written for him were mildly funny, but his, like, he's Donald Trump. He can't just read the joke. He has to read the joke and go, you know, a lot of people, very much. And his little asides were funnier than the jokes to me. He's a funny guy, I think. I think Kamala Harris would have gotten way funnier writers than him, but I don't know that she would have gotten more laughs than him. I believe Kamala is smarter than Hillary. I believe she's probably more prepared than Hillary was. Not a very high bar to clear. But she still has a touch of that Hillary stiffness. Remember when Hillary... I ain't no ways tired. It's like, well, you were halfway to doing the thing you wanted to do, but you were so stiff and unbelievable doing it. But she had a kind of a stiffness to her, you know. I don't, and Kamala's just got to, she's got that formal I'm a school teacher thing that she does it. And the people will get the taxes, and then we will spend the anyway. Just complain about everybody tonight. Wolf says, that's cool. I hope things are good here. There, I've heard things aren't so good on many. Yeah, I've heard that too. Well, then there's another thing, is we could actually get off our dead lazy and try to help the people on the Indian reservation. How about that? Yeah, it's a bad situation. Yeah, it's cyclical. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Lifestyle. You know, they get a certain amount of federal money. Is it their fault? Is it not? I don't care. Let's solve it. I've been on those reservations, man. Whew. Abandoned cars, double wides, and drinking. People walking drunk down the street. It's bad. China steals our stuff. She copyrights everything they can. I'm not mad. I just see how far into the collapse we're in. Tom likes bureaucrats. I like people that have been doing their job for longer than never. I like that. You know, if a bureaucrat, and then you'd have to define exactly what levels, or, you know, does that include the support staff, blah, blah, blah. But if somebody's been doing their job for a certain period of time and they're good at it, I think they ought to be able to keep that job and keep being good at it. That makes me a bureaucrat lover, fine. I don't care. But, you know, I like politicians to do their job and people in government to do their job. That's what I like. It's scary how things are built over there. Tofu dredger, rotten tail construction as well. Here's another thing. When the other, people around me complain about something, this is not a new term. Many of you will have heard it. You always get the government you deserve. So when things happen, hey, here in Texas, you want to hear something? Oh boy. Did you know the state of Texas has blocked all of the adult streaming free sites like Pornhub? Are you aware of that? Oh, yeah. I'm sure you get a VPN, you're fine. But just to pop open your computer and, spend a little time with yourself, can't do that no more. Am I crazy about that? No. If they didn't have those sites, Stuttering John would be on the street longer. But they had an election. We voted. I voted. A lot of times you vote for somebody and then they do something you don't like. In my situation, I go, hey man, that's the way the cookie crumbles. Elections are important. Not like everything else they're doing, but hey man. And then to appease us, they offer a tax-free sales day on Kleenex and lotion. And it's like, well, I don't need them now. Turney says, you gave us Nafata, Tom, not Republicans. Huh? Wait, I don't know what that means. I guess I need to explain it later. Because I forget again, Tom, don't start on Elon Hyperloop probably. I don't want to talk about him. Wait, Terry, is Tom the president and we don't know it? I'm not the president. Aku said you should call in. Maybe calling in today. So what I hear, Tom hates government and is voting Trump. No. There is such a thing as not voting for either candidate. I kind of one of those guys. You have to deserve my vote, and if you don't, Tom killed Peanut. Terry, the planner Peanut, no, but you aren't Tom. I know you're joking, but it would be a better joke if I wasn't hosting a radio show with 5 people in it, and then the Tom is the president or thinks he's the president joke would go over a little better. Ariana, Tom did do comedy. Trump did do comedy. Yeah, he did. Have you seen him dance? That's how they get right away. They dive right in with the logical fallacies. Well, this podcast has been deemed false. That post has been deemed grammar hammered. The grammar hammer is not my favorite feature. Some of the grammar hammers, while they're technically correct, they are not best usage. And I could show you that. So if you're going to be Mr. Grammar, there's something called usage. It's just as much as part of grammar as commas and periods and initial caps. And that ain't being observed there. Fake news, Terry. It's rough, man. Sniffing gas and glue is a problem, too. It's also bad in Canada. Yeah, they got a lot of meth, tons of meth. Indians had thousands of years to get their act together. Mm-hmm. Yeah. That guy who the police arrested last night, he had time to get his act together. But once he was arrested, once they took him, it's the government's responsibility. Now, get their act together. What do you mean by that? Because we have a treaty with them, right? So there's things they can and can't do. Those people were taken over. And so, there's the very good point that throughout history, certain cultures and people have been conquered by others. And when they are, you're subject to whatever terms that conquering band decides are appropriate. Okay. All right. The Indian problem, it ain't like we're going to build a tunnel across the Atlantic Ocean. It's something that's solvable. We can do better than we're doing now. And I'll point something else out to you, Terry. The way we spend money in the federal government, as a conservative, the conservative part of me, are you joking me? The waste. And that's for both parties. But what if the money we were giving the Indians right now, we didn't increase it by a dime, was spent efficiently? What if Medicaid didn't have a 30% fraud rate? What if? I'm just saying. Because they work for me. They work for you. We, the people. We have forgotten that we, the people, have the power. They don't. But the reason they forgot's easy. We've never demonstrated it to them. Ever. What if we all just blanket voted out every single person? It's just total chaos. It's like I said, I'm an anarchist. What if every single congressman, we're done with you. I guarantee you they'd be listening to us much harder. But we're not going to do that. The people in Oklahoma are going to keep electing the guy that brought a snowball into the halls of Congress and went, here's proof no global warming. Really? I don't even know how I feel about global warming, but I know a snowball is not proof. And the people in LA are going to keep electing Maxine Waters. So, we deserve what we're getting. And everybody, and people here are doing it. And okay, now I'm going to get a little... brother. It's, it just keeps saying, hey. Yeah. Hey, I did this. It's like, Jesus Christ. You don't see that both sides are corrupt, criminal, abdicating their responsibility and stuff. And you want to argue over the minutia. Okay, go ahead. Come right ahead. You're not getting the big picture. We got something coming. How much of your money do they take every week? Right? You work for us. It's... Oh, those people that work for us? Yeah. Yeah, well, if they express a notion that they feel the same way I do, or if they just belong to a party, this party over government crap is just ludicrous. Then we'll put them in. It's okay if they mess up, because they're on my side. Just juvenile. Well, I don't leave the house. Leave the house. Canadian glue is the best sniffing. Maple scented, yummy. Ask for it by name. Thanks for Biden, Tom. I don't have anything to do with Biden. I didn't vote for either. And by the way, that was during the end of COVID. And if I was going to vote for somebody, let's see. 7.8, a record to run on. For Biden, this is the government you wanted, Tom. I don't want any government. Name me that government that didn't exploit its people for the benefit of the... And come on. It's not the government I want. I'm not going to ever get the government I want. Ever. Not going to happen. Just very aware of that fact. I'm just riding the lightning trail to the last stop. Native Americans had their blank together. That's why colonizers threatened and destroyed them. I look at that as just a native people that had been somewhere for a long time, and some people with much more advanced technology and track record for conquering things, and that's the way civilizations were back then. You know, everybody's like, we enslaved and we blah, and it's like, yeah, that's the way it was done. They didn't have a big line and say, how can we help you assimilate in it? See, Tom, grammar doesn't apply online. Yeah, that's called usage. That's what I'm talking about. Usage. The best writing isn't necessarily grammatically complete. It's effective. Writing is for effectiveness. It is not for structure. So that's why when you see a sign that says wet floor, it's not initial cap small letters with a period at the end or an exclamation point. Usage. So I'm agreeing with you. Indians were always in a state of warfare. They were, but they were in a state of warfare always against people that were technologically somewhat on the same level as them. But yeah, they were very warlike. They're territorial as we were. Kim Warfield says the government broke treaties all the time. Oh, didn't they? Didn't they? But now they don't. Now there's mass communications, and people will point their finger at that. God, I got to get these messages. Grammar applies to any written form of communication, LOL. It does, but usage, which is a tenement of grammar, means there are times when we suspend certain rules for the appropriate purpose. But if you can write something with misspelled words and it's effective as doing it grammatically correctly, or even more effective, then that's the name of the game. It's got to be effective. What's the purpose of your writing? What are you trying to do? Terry says Biden sent money to Ukraine, not Americans and Indians. I don't think we should have sent any money anywhere ever. I think all these foreign nations we're sending money to, many of whom are openly hostile to us. Okay, everybody, free rides over for 5 years. Show us you want the money. That's what I'd do. Actually, what I'd do is quit giving any money. But if your government is giving money to other nations, you're paying too much in taxes. Warfield says, hey, I'm with you on that. Terry says, Ariana, you never read Beowulf. I don't think I have read Beowulf. Wolf says, hey, I'm not ready to read. Yeah, nobody's told me there was going to be reading. You seem emotional. That's like gaslighting stuff, man. How can you detect emotion in a chat room? That's a pretty good trick. You can read the written word and divine the emotion of the person who wrote it. I've written a lot of sad things when I was in a good mood. Now you got a lot more data on me being emotional since I'm on a camera and you can hear my voice. Terry, why do you think emotions are bad? They're a driving force of humanity. Uh-oh. It could be as bad as England and take 30% tax. Yeah, well, tell somebody else because YouTube right now is taking 30% of my. God, it's got to be almost $20. Commie bastards. Dupa says, Terry Nee, now you seem emotional. Yeah, you do, Terry. You've been getting a little bit. Are you okay? Sir, are you okay? Sir, can you calm down, sir? Please, I'm just trying to help you, sir. Are you all right, sir? Sir, you seem a little emotional. Come on, we know Terry doesn't have emotions. Please. Terry says, Tom is electing 2 government public union pick. Tom is electing 2 government public union pick. Having trouble with that sentence, Terry. I'm sorry. Dupa, I am emotionally messing with Tom. Emotionally messing with me. It's, even if you're doing it as a goof, I get to do my thingy, and we're on a show, so it's useful to me. Even if you're enjoying it, all the better. Everyone's happy now. Where were those snacks we had around here? It's still being done that way today. My publisher wouldn't have liked knee spelling words in my article. Wolf is funny. So, Tom, Trump will hold our money here. So you emotional. He's going to hold our money here? What's that mean? In Maryland? What money? United States money? Pay China back with it. Why hold it? All right, kids, we're at the end. I've done damn near 3 hours. You guys are great. We're not ever doing this again. Ever, 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 ever. I told the lovely and talented Flynn Beck this would happen. I knew it would happen. When we rescheduled Gully Palooza, we had it scheduled when this show was popular and we were going to do it in Vegas. When we reschedule it, we're either going to agree not to talk about this, or we're going to have a debate. And if we have a debate, you guys better watch out. My first question is going to be, how does a bill become a law in our federal government? I don't want to say I don't think any of you know, because I know Wolf does. But the vast amount of people who have very strong political opinions cannot answer that question. We're in the collapse. It doesn't matter. Tom's people have the keys. I've been saying it doesn't matter for a long time. It's like, you want to eat a bowl of poison or drink a glass of poison? Thank you, Tom and Terry, for taking me back to a time when people debated about politics and respected one another. Terry Nee has never respected me, not once, not even for a second. Everything he does proves that he has less than 0% respect for me. You know, stop asking easy questions. Terry says, been fun messing with minds and emotion. I know, Terry, you've been the puppet master all evening. We're all just hopelessly caught in a situation beyond our control. Terry Nee is... I get it. I get it. It's like when my nephews, when they were 3, used to come up to me with a football and go, "Want to play football?" And I say, "Yeah." And I wait for them to throw it to me. And they throw it over my head, hits the ground, rolls. They run, pick it up, run into the end zone and go, I won. Except Terry's got the knee problems and the hip. Not true, Tom. I don't know what you're saying is not true. I have these thoughts sometimes. This one anyway is generated from some of the jobs that I've had over my life. And there's like a not fun or nice precept that you realize after a while. And that is, if someone is deficient in accurately processing reality one time, that's going to be an ongoing thing. They don't wise up, collapse into bed. It's 7:54. God, it's 9:54 here. I like turtles. Turtles all the way down. You ever heard that song by Sturgill Simpson? Dupa? Dupa's music is vast. I'm physically capable of everything. Not what I heard. you know, it's not what I heard. Some people are saying it's 11 here, Kim. Yeah, she's on the East Coast. Dupa, are you talking about the chocolate with peanuts that comes in an orange striped box? Oh, those are good, aren't they? Turtles. My mom used to make turtles. There was like a hack or something. She made them all the time. Hey, it's been great. We're never doing this again. And looking at that old clock on the wall, like the Reverend Al Green, I gotta get up on out of here. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. All right, one more. Zumac Attack says Tom versus the Duke in a boat race. Do we both have the same boat or the same? Look, I just fundamentally think that it would be impossible for anyone in this chat room to lose to John at anything, except growing lesions on his body. He's very good at that. He showed like a big patch out of his hand today that was missing. And then he said, I got to go see the dermatologist. It's on my feet, too. Oh, my God. It literally looked like somebody took a Leatherman or a Swiss Army knife and just cut a hunk of, it looked like Buffalo Bill from Silence of the Lambs. Just not joking. Hey, man, we'll see you guys later. Hope you vote tomorrow. And if you don't, I'll just go ahead and vote. Till next time, we'll see you next time. Oh, yeah, next time. Right out of my